What's up, good people? It's been a minute since I brought you guys a story. This one's about 16-year-old Jonell Carwell of Augusta, Georgia. Jonell Carwell came up missing on her 16th birthday. The story goes that 16-year-old Jonell, uh, the day that she turned 16, her stepfather asked her to ride with him on a road trip to go and help one of his friends that was stranded uh, on the side of the road somewhere. The time that he asked her to ride with him supposedly was after midnight, sometime late in the middle of the night. I believe he asked the mom's permission, and the mother supposedly said yes. The mother reported Jonell missing several days after she hadn't heard from Jonell or the stepfather. The stepfather was later found in Atlanta, Georgia, with no Jonell. The mother was on TV, basically ranting and raving and crying about her missing daughter and asking the public's help in finding Jonell. She was very, very believable and, just a mess on TV. Several news outlets covered the story. Several churches and locals rallied by the mother's side while they, look for little Jonell. Later, some rumors went around that caused police to have suspicions. And what happened is they end up going to question the mother in regards to Jonell's whereabouts because of a story that they had heard that maybe Jonell and the stepfather had been having some sort of relationship of some type. The mother denied it, denied knowing where the stepfather was and not really knowing, what was going on with that. Now, mind you, I just said that Jonell's stepfather was found in Atlanta, but he wasn't found alone. He was found with Jonell's mother, who had fled from Augusta, Georgia, to go be with him in Atlanta, even knowing that the last person to see her daughter alive was the stepfather. But I guess some kind of way she convinced herself that maybe the man didn't have anything to do with it, so she ran to be by his side. They both were arrested in connection with Jonell's murder, although there was never a body found. Now, months and months have passed since anybody had heard or seen anything in regards to Jonell. Um, Billboards were put up with Find Jonell, and several people put together search parties to help find Jonell around the areas where she was last known to frequent, all in Atlanta also. Well, after months and months and months, some remains were found. Today, in fact, right there in Augusta, Georgia. The remains were identified as 16-year-old Jonell. So it turns out that whatever happened to Jonell happened right there in Augusta, Georgia. And the trip to Atlanta, or the road trip that the father asked could Jonell go to, was maybe a cover story to cover up the fact that maybe Jonell had been missing before then, or went missing shortly after then, or was killed shortly after then, I'd rather say. This is her stepfather, the man that they say was sexually abusing Jonell. At least that's how the story's going. Supposedly, her mother knew, but because she didn't want to lose the stepfather in her life, she she turned a blind eye to the situation. Some kind of way, Jonell ended up murdered that night of her 16th birthday. It's not known whether it was Jonell's stepfather or Jonell's mother, or they both played a part. Months have passed, and now that the remains have been found, they are deteriorated, and you know how it is when you find remains. But here's the news story in regards to the finding of the remains and et cetera, et cetera. It's a very, very sad story. I remember this one. I remember everybody praying and worrying and thinking that maybe it was a child abducted on the loose. But then the story started coming to, about the father and all the things that he had been doing to Jonell and the possibility of her being pregnant and all kind of stuff. But you know how rumors go. You really don't put stock into rumors. And until a body has surfaced, I guess everybody had hope that maybe the girl got away from him some kind of way and just fled. But it's not the case. It's so not the case. But anywho, here's that news headline that just announced not very long ago, actually a few hours ago, that the remains were Jonell. Pause for the cause.
Found on Golden. Coroner confirms human remains found on Golden Camp Road are those of LaTanya Jonell Carwell. The teenager went missing in April of last year. Today, investigators say it is her body. News Channel 6's Renetta Dubose has been following this story since Carwell was first reported missing. She's live on Golden Camp Road now where the remains were uncovered. Renetta, what can you tell us right now?
You know, Jenny, it's safe to say not just the CSRA, but the entire world has an ending to a story that they did not want to hear. The remains found at this home on Friday on Golden Camp Road were identified by the coroner as being those of 16-year-old LaTanya Jonell Carwell. Now, on Friday, it took an entire day for a forensic anthropologist to unearth the bones that have now been identified as the 16-year-old we have all grown to love. The owner of this home found the bones while surveying the land and saw a bone sticking up out of the ground in the wooded area behind the home. He was actually about to rent the home at that time. Now, the coroner, Mark Bowen, worked with investigators with Richmond County and the GBI to quickly identify those bones. And, of course, you will remember her mother, Tanya Tripp, and her stepfather, Leon Tripp, were arrested in connection to her disappearance. Now, this is no doubt a very sad case, and we will keep following this case because we know that the Tripps will have pending court cases. We're live in Augusta. Renetta Dubose, WJBF News Channel 6. Back to you.